Hey everyone, we're going to sketch a graph of this polynomial, f of x. Let's look at our exponents here to find the degree because this is not in standard form. So you just merely add these up. 1 plus 1 plus 2 is 4, so our degree is 4. These are our multiplicities here. We're going to talk about end behavior in a minute, but what we know is our degree is an even number. We also know our lead coefficient is negative. That's going to help us with when we graph. So we'll get back to that. Our y-intercept is when x is 0. So when you plug in 0 here for your x, we're going to get 0, comma, this is going to be positive. So we have 3 times 9, which is 27. All right, and our zeros are when y is 0. So we have 1 at 3, negative 1, because negative 1 plus 1 is 0, and at negative 3. So let's write that down. 3, comma 0, negative 1, comma 0. Both of those have multiplicity equals 1. And our last one, negative 3, comma 0, our multiplicity equals 2. Maximum turning points, you take your n, which is 4 minus 1 is 3. And this part, we're going to determine the intervals where the graph is negative and where the graph of f of x is positive. This is just your y, basically. Where's y positive? Where's y negative? Okay, let's go back to our end behavior now. So we need to do that. So since we have a even degree, which was 4, and a negative lead coefficient, our graph is going to look like that. In our case, since it's 4, it's kind of more narrow. It goes down here like this, something like that. We don't really care about that part as much as this end behavior right here. That means when we graph from left to right, we'll be starting in quadrant 3 and ending in quadrant 4. And this is negative, negative, and this is positive, negative. So if you look at this part right here, we have positive, negative, and negative, negative. The negative, negative is quadrant 3, and the positive, negative here is quadrant 4. All right? And all this means is as x from 0 gets larger and larger, our x values, our y values actually get smaller. So that's infinity, and this would be to negative infinity. Positive, negative. That tells us we're in quadrant 4. As x from 0 gets smaller and smaller, that's negative, our y also gets smaller and smaller from 0. So that's what end behavior is about. So let's graph this. We have our zeros are at 3, negative 3, and negative 1. And our y-intercept was at 27. Now, I can't get up to there, so we're just sketching this graph, even though it's on a grid here. We're just sketching it. We're really not going to worry about too much the min and max. We're just going to get the general shape of the curve. So we also know we're starting in quadrant 3 and going to be ending in quadrant 4. So we're going to go up to our negative 3. Now, our negative 3 came from this portion. That's an even multiplicity. So that means I can't cross here. I have to make a U-turn and come back. I'm going to come back up to here. Again, we're not going to worry about how far to go down on this. That's not what this video is about. It's just a general shape. So at negative 1, which is this portion, my multiplicity is 1. So that means I can cross. So I'm going to go up to this 27 portion and go to the y-intercept and come back down to 3. At 3, this was a multiplicity of 1, so we can cross, and we're going down. So we did end where we're supposed to. Now, it's not the best graph, but that's the general shape of the polynomial. This probably should be a little more curvy in here, but we're not going to worry so much. We just want to get how to graph in general. So now we want to look at where our f of x is positive. And if I draw a line here at y equals 0, so I want to know above the y equals 0. So where is y greater, why did I do that? Where is y greater than 0? And y is greater than 0 right in this portion of the graph. So this portion of the graph, it's greater than 0. And that's from -1 to 3. All right? And where's y less than 0, or f of x, is negative, that's going to be below this line. So here it is. And that's from -infinity to -1. And also from 3 to infinity. And that's it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.